everyone. Uh, yeah, we are back at it. This time, I'll be working on a new plugin, more like recreating an existing plugin. So this is a plugin that is on the plugin store. It's called Color Blender, and then which allows you to blend two colors. So you can see I've selected two colors here. If I say blend, it gives me an option to select number of steps. And then I say okay. I try to blend it. Blends between those two colors. So obviously, the more steps you have, I'm going to change this to a black now, and then do that, and then blend colors. So let's say 8. Yeah, so you see it tries to figure out a way to blend through those, and you see it gives the distance. If I had placed this here, it does that trick of figuring out those intermediate points, and does that, place them along the line. And yeah, so there you have it. That's how it works. So we're going to try and recreate all this logic. So before, when I was looking at this, I remembered, if you are in one of the previous videos, you remember the colorize the sample plugin here, and it basically does the same thing. At least the gradientize, but it does something similar. It takes through the existing texts, and then tries to find a gradient between the color of the first letter and the color of the last letter. So I thought I'd use it as a starter point again. This time more relevantly because you're going to use most of the code in that gradientized part instead of deleting everything like before. Yeah, so again, like before, I've gone to my friend git zip here and downloaded that as a starter point. And yeah, so we're going to get started here now. So I've already set it up here. I'm going to load it, and as always, debug. Okay. So I've done some cleanliness in here. Changed the name, given myself props, and also I've changed the menu items here. So I've changed the title. The label should be color utils. So I'm going to get two things. So you're going to do, one of them is blend colors, which will blend any two colors, and the other one will be fill colors. Fill colors, what it will do is basically the same concept of blend colors, but instead of just blending two random colors, it blends between one color and complete black, and also the same color and complete white. So let me see. So it will do that, and it will also do it for the white version, blending it to white. So yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so again, with the main.js here, I've cleaned out all the code that is not relevant to us, and I've renamed the method here to blend colors. And again, at the top here, given myself props, given the new function that we're going to create, functionalities that we're going to create. I've created some description here, and yeah, this shouldn't be text. Color utilities. Okay. So yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is obviously we need to get those two items there. So as you can see, the guy was asking, the color blend plugin was asking you to get to set the number of items. We're going to try and be more ambitious than that. What we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out the distance on our own, based on the selected items. So yeah, let's do that. I'm going to comment out this code for now because we're not going to be using it right now. And then we'll just start with our own code here. So the first thing I want to get, as always, is the selected items. So yeah, the most relevant thing for us in this case, when we're trying to get the 0.1 and 0.2, there are many ways. So let's actually use the UXP plugins here to see if we can find something relevant. Reference. Okay. So on the reference points, look for scene node. Okay, let's go to scene graph, and hopefully this gives us scene nodes. Scene node. Okay, there you go. So in the scene node here, you'll find some useful methods. So one of the first ones you could look at is top left and parent, but this will only give you the top left coordinates. But what you want to do is, for the first item, yes, you want to get the top left coordinates, but for the last item here, you want to get the bottom right coordinates here, so that you can we can get those two coordinates. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so let's move on. So to do that, I'm going to use something different. I'm not going to use the top left. I'm going to use bounds in parent. I like this method because what's going to give us is the, let's just see them what is going to give us here. So if you look at the selected items here, .map, and then you can grab the, obviously you'll notice I'm not doing like the checks, make sure they are selected items. This will be homework for you if you are one who likes homework. Yeah, so now we can look at the bounds. Okay, so let's try that again. So color utils, blend. Am I getting an error? This is early. This is very early. There's a typo here. Okay, try again. There we go. So you get the bounds there. Strange, why am I only getting one? Is the other not selected? Oh, I forgot to select that. So blend. So I should be getting two bounds. The first one, the X and the Y. Okay. So you see there, you get the X and the Y and the width and the height. Same for the other one. So basically what we want to do there is so yeah, what we want to do is the start X, which will be the points 0.x, the start Y, so, 0.y, and the and X and then Y there. This will be 0.1. Okay, so to calculate distance here is a simple formula. It's basically, okay, you know what, let's just go with that formula. Distance between 2 points. There you go. There's a simple one here, a one-liner. Mark the hypotenuse, which gets you that hypotenuse between 0.1 and 0.2. And yeah, so distance. Okay, so like that, we've gotten the distance. Let's see if we can see that. box here. So they see the distance is 49. So the next thing, like I said, we want to calculate the number of items within that distance. And yeah, so to get the number of items is basically distance divided by size. And yeah, so let's see. Size. So in this case, I'm going to assume the items are similar in size. So I'm just going to grab the first point. So I want to get the max.min here. Maybe max. So distance, size, and number of items. So number of items will be simply distance or size okay. So let's see if we can see those guys in there. Blend. So you get the distance is 49, the size is 8, and the number of items will be 6.125. So that's the math flow here. So I will get this time should give us 6 exactly. Blend 6. Okay, so the next thing is now we actually need to create the number of the points. Divide that distance there into points. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 until the end. To do that, we'll just Google how to get the distance points. Okay, so I googled this earlier on. So basically I'm just going to copy this function. This was asking for 5 items. We're going to give it a number of items we want it to divide the line by. So divide into x segments and then pass x there. So I will pass x as another parameter there. So the 5 here will be the x. Obviously you'll probably need to do something like if no x or maybe default the x to 5. One of those things, just to make sure your plugin is actually not going to break. Anyway, so we give it we'll give it a, so you'll see it's actually expecting x and y, which is a good thing because our points already have x's and y's, the ones you're getting from the bounding parent. So we'll just say into x segments. So we just give it 0.0 and 0.1, and then we want it to divide by number of items. Okay, so let's call this coordinates. Okay, so yeah, now I can just grab see the coordinates here. Hopefully there are no bugs, and you can just run this and get the results. Blend, and there we go. So we have the starting point, the ending point is 6, 5, and there are the coordinates in the middle. So there are how many coordinates? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 coordinates in the middle. Actually, I think it's supposed to be 6. Anyway, we want to get the distance in the middle, so we're going to divide that distance by, actually I think it should be 4. Should it? No, I think it's actually correct. Number of items should be based on that formula. So I'm noticing something here. they're adding the start and end points. You don't really want this because you already have the start and end points. Yeah, so now this will just give us the interior points. Okay, let's see. So obviously the next thing is to fill in those new items based on those points. Yeah, so to do that, I'm going to copy some code from before. This is another plugin we did, the palette generator plugin, and I'm just going to copy this code for creating content or generating content, and there we go. And so just say coordinates for each. Okay, so coordinates dot for each. So size is already calculated for us up there, and we need to get this ellipse place here. What else do we need? The color for right now. We'll just get a random color. Later on, we'll use the logic down here to get those intermediate colors. So selection dot insertion parent is at the circle. Moving parent coordinates. Now I wanted to move to the coordinates here. So this returns an x and a y. So yeah, move it to those coordinates. Okay. Okay. So let's see if that draws our circles in there. Moment of truth. Make sure our error catcher is running. Blend. Yay. So yeah, there are our intermediate items. How many are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there are 5 items between those guys. Yeah, so you would imagine in a perfect world you would be adding some sort of distance calculator there, rather spacing calculator, adding the spacing to the logic there, but I don't really want to do that. Yeah, so let's move on. So one thing I wanted to show you here is a little trick that XD allows you to do. So if I have this, if I blend and show these items, you see it's aligning the items into the new place there. So in some cases you'd want to do select all these items and align them, something like that. So basically that's what I want to do right now. So this is not something you might want to do, but just in case it's something you want to do, make sure they are aligned properly. This is how you do that. So first thing we need to do is get something from the commands. Okay, so this is probably something I don't think we've touched. Have you touched commands till now? I don't think so. Actually, you should have this down here. So before you actually do commands, something you might want to do. You notice here, before I did the command, I had to select those other items, and to do that is actually quite easy. You just say selection dot items is equal to the original selection dot items, and then concatenate that with the circles. We obviously don't have the circles yet, so I'm just going to get them from here. This should be now map instead of for each, and return this circle here. So yeah, that should select all the new circles. If I say generate blend, So you see now the circles have all been selected. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, let me show you the command thing on XD. Yeah, I think if I add command here, I'm cheating, of course, because I've been through this doc so many times. So I should be able to get through to command.html, and apparently I'm not very familiar with that. Very embarrassing. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I just came. Okay, so let's try to look for application. I think API references, UXP APIs. What? Yeah, I don't think this is it. Curious. Okay, let me see if I can go back and find. I want to go back to scene graph. Here. For some reason, I just can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, so here's application. Okay, so like I said, I'm looking for commands. Yeah, I don't really know what went wrong. This should take me there. There you go. So yeah, commands. Obviously I haven't figured out the optimized way to navigate these docs. So yeah. But anyway, that the most important thing here is to grab that there. So now that we've selected the items, we can just grab a quick command there. So you don't really need it to be let, you can just be constant. And we can say, look at the commands here. So the command I want to use here is align horizontal, center, align items to the horizontal, center horizontally. Actually, yeah, I think it's horizontal. So if I call commands align horizontal, center, that should do the magic for it. I don't really need that anymore. Go there, make sure there are no bugs, run that. There we go, like magic. So obviously this is not ideal, because in other cases you'd want to do they actually are the other way, they'll align the items the other way. So what I want to do here is check if the dx, that is the vertical difference between these two items, is greater than the dy. It means I want to align those guys. If the dx is greater, it means they are further apart vertically, I think. Let's see. So if the dx is greater, it means they're further apart horizontally. So I want to align them vertically. So let me just write this logic here. So if delta x is greater, align horizontally. This is actually supposed to be vertically. If delta y, now actually you can just do otherwise here. So if delta x is greater, align vertically, otherwise align horizontally. So so this will be like align vertical, So yeah, how do you get that distance? So you just get the, you can grab these points here. So I can just call here delta y. So obviously you need to do math dot absolute here. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, now you can just check that, put the condition there, if delta x greater than delta y, do that, and then comment that. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Let's try it out. So blend. I'm getting it back. Did I remove the try catch? Okay, so console log error. Okay, blend. Yeah, apparently there's no error. Curious. Am I missing something? What am I missing? It looks as if the error is happening before here. Let me try and comment this out, make sure everything is still working as expected. Oh, I think that is the problem. I wasn't selecting both of them. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, now that is why you write your checks, people. Make sure you're writing checks. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's go back. Blend, the lines vertically. If it's that, then do blend, the lines horizontally. So yeah, now for the last part, which is actually to try and figure out the distances, the colors in between here. We're just going to be very, very lazy and copy the code from before. So let's try and figure out how that was happening. So let's comment that and try and see if we can find. Yeah, so I think the first one is here. So you get the first color, where the colors get coming from. They're coming from here. Yeah, so ours will be a little bit easier. So let's see. So our colors would actually just be a simple case of can do this here. is again another tricky thing you need to figure out. So I'm going to just do a simple case of returning the fill. And so yeah, that will, like I said, now in case there's a gradient or something doesn't have a color, you need to make sure you're checking for those situations. But right now, in prototyping land, we don't really need to do all this. We're just going to go with the golden path. Yeah, so because these plugins are going to be on the tutorials GitHub page, you can just clone, create a pull request and hit me up. I'll definitely add your changes in if you do something interesting, or rather if you just fix bugs. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So let's see if I can see these colors here. So colors, I'm going to comment that again. And blend our colors there. So yeah. Next step. So what is the next step in this place? After you get the colors, it's basically color 0 and colors the next color, and then I think the code that we're going to deal with mostly is this. I'm going to copy this and delete everything else. So yeah, and the colors, first color will be color 0, the other color will be color length. That still works for us. And then we're getting the RGBA there. Calculate the distance between the starting and end points for each component. Why are we doing that? Oh yeah, the distance deltas between colors. Okay, cool. So yeah, in our case, the length we want to do is the number of items. So this was just taking, this was actually using the length of the text, so the number of text items they're in. So in our case, that is actually number of items. Okay. Are we using length anywhere else here? Nope, doesn't look like we are. So yeah, now that we have those two deltas, let's see, create a new array of styles, one by each character. We don't really want to do that. We just want to grab this color here. So assign RGBA and B components based on how many times we've inserted iterated steps. So yeah, this is going to be strange. What is IDX? Oh, IDX is in here. Time step. Okay. Yeah, I think that will give us the new color. So let's see. What we want to get is okay, so we're going to put this logic inside the. Okay, we can just call this a function. Actually, we can just call this a function. So function get color at point. Step rather. Then pass in the step. Yeah, and that should do the trick, I think. So definitely pass in the colors. first color, last color, RGBA, delta RGBA, get colors. I think it's just going to be color, get colors, and then we'll pass the number of steps. Okay, and then so here I just do what they were doing before, which is now that I've deleted that, I have to come back and copy this from somewhere else. Is it here? No, it's not. Colorize. There you go. So it's here. So you want to get the array from length, and then grab that step there. This is what is happening. Let's copy that. So array from length, this is actually the number of items, number of steps. Yeah, so there we have the step, create a new color, and yeah, hopefully this is exactly it. So we don't really need to get the style, we just need to return the color here in our case. So text a little bit different, because text when you're editing the text color, you're editing the text for the color for each letter, not the text as a whole. So that's why you see there are so many things here. There's doing get style for position, and you get the style for an iteration. Instead of styling the whole text, you're just styling an individual letter in the text. So yeah, but we don't want to do that. Obviously, you can go through this example and try playing around with colorizing text and see how those text style ranges work. If I find a good enough idea for an actual real plugin, I might do that and see. Until then, we soldier on. Okay, so get intermediate colors. So yeah, number of steps, and then you can pass in the colors. First color, last color. Maybe we can just pass in colors. Yeah, so first color and last color, and then it will give us the intermediate colors here. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to believe that it's going to do that for us magically. So, and just move on. So get intermediate colors, and we'll be getting those from here. So you need to pass in the colors and the number of steps, number of items, and yeah. So this will be like the intermediate colors. And if you don't have any bugs, we should be able to see the intermediate colors there. Let's try again. Okay, undo that, blend, and we have a bug. Okay. Okay. Blend. Reference number of items is not defined. What is that? What does that mean? Oh, this number number of steps. Strange, then why is the number of items being used? Let's see. It's saying this is at line 85. 85 here. That can be right. 91 actually here. So yeah, this should be number of steps. Okay, try again. Blend. Intermediate colors isn't defined. Am I not returning anything? We could be doing that. There you go. Not returning anything. Yeah. Array from. Yeah. Array from that. Why is it not returning anything? I think it should probably be map. I think this should be this dot fill with whatever. So. I think that is what you should do. Anyway, let me see if that works. And then I'll try and walk you through what is happening there. Yeah, now that works. So basically what it's doing here is, maybe show this to you in console log here. Obviously, if you're doing JavaScript, a lot of JavaScript for work, you're probably already familiar with this, but in case you're not, it's going to show you quickly what I'm doing here. So array.fill, let's say it's 5 steps. So yeah, so if I just say an array of 5 steps, it's just going to give me an array with nothing inside. Empty times 5. Yeah, so the fill function there will fill it with whatever you want it to be in each of those 5 points. So if I say 1 here, it's going to fill it with 5 items with 1. And then as long as I have those 5 items, I can do a map and return, do some logic to return in here. Yeah, so now that we have the colors, we can do what we wanted to do in the first place, and that is let me just make sure the first color is actually not red. It's not. So okay, so intermediate colors, we wanted to assign the new color. At index, you can get the index from here, and yeah, that should do the remainder of our trick here. Blend. So I actually don't want it to do that. It's giving me something weird is happening. Let's try and use black for the other color here and see if everything is correct. Yeah, it actually looks like it's working properly. Let's see if I opened up this distance a little bit more. Hopefully I get more colors. And there you go. Yeah, So that's how you do that. So if you want to bail at this point, I totally understand. And so because at this point you're actually done with what we're going to do. What I want to do next is just to try and figure out a way to use the same logic to create a fill, which is going to basically add those colors from the left there to the left and to the right of that item. So what I'm imagining is it would be something like, once I have a color like that, I'll just place it at the center like here, and then add the colors to white. And then add the colors to black here. So yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, I think this video is already going on long enough. So you might want to actually try and figure that out on your own. Sorry, I don't want these videos to be way too long. But basically what I'm talking about is this. So yeah, if I take these guys out, I select these two guys here and fill and blend, and also take this guy here and blend. So basically that's what I want you to you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, if I reduce the distance between those two items there, okay, so fill that. Yeah, so that's basically what you're supposed to do. Yeah, so figure out a way to get what we have right now to create this fill plugin, which will do what I just showed you there. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for listening and watching, and have fun, and definitely hit me up if you end up doing this, and I'll add that to the repo for people coming after you. Bye.